All right, you guys. So something that I hold near and dear to my heart is RLCS, Rocket League Championship Series. I love watching it. And today, we're going to make a tier list because starting tomorrow, August 3rd, is actually going to be the start of the 2022-2023 World Championships for RLCS. So let's talk about it and let's see what we got here. So the very first team that we have up is going to be Carmine Corp. And mind you, we have 5 North American teams, 7 European teams, 2 Oceania, three Sam, and then a couple MENA and APAC, right? So let's get into it. Carmine Corp. We got Itachi, Vitera, and Exotic. Carmine Corp. I'm gonna put it as definitely could see it happening. I think that they definitely have that pop off potential, especially with Itachi and Vitera. But I I don't know. I think there might be a team that stands in their way, and that team is coming up. But Carmine Corp, Itachi's a beast. I ain't gonna lie, and Vitera is just he's ridiculous. So the next team we got here is Team Liquid. Well, Team Liquid, of course, we got a Chronic, Oski, and a Toe. Team Liquid, I'm gonna put it under surprising. I don't think they've really. Hold on, just a second. They've been together for a while. So they've been together since February of 2022. So they've been together for over a year. But like I said, they've had some very good run-ins. So they've won the draw, which was a B tier, whatchamacallit, tournament. They won that. RLCS EU Regional 1, they got second place. 2022 Winter Major Split, they actually got third, fourth. So, I mean, they definitely have the potential to make a run. But I think, hold on just a second, they are seated in the group stage as of right now. So they have a good potential at making a run. So, I hate to say this, but my favorite when it comes to this is going to be Vitality. Like, you cannot argue the the pop off that Zen has had. Zen has made just this team elevate to the next level. I mean, look at it. So let's take a look. So I'm looking at the achievements under Liquipedia, right? And as of right now, the Spring Split Major, first place. The EU Regional 2 Cup, first place. EU Regional 1 Cup, first place. Season, and then it goes all the way back to RLCS Season X, where they won first place. But since the start of spring, they have been on a tear. And why is that? They added Zen to that roster. And adding Zen to that roster it's just ridiculous because you got Zen, you got Alpha, Redison, and Farah, him as a coach, he's been doing things, and I like what he did over at the Spring Split where he kind of rallied North America behind Vitality. I was a huge Vitality fan when they had Fairy Peak and K-Dop on there, and of course they brought in Scrub Killer there, and then they ended up booting Scrub Killer for Alpha. But I was a Vitality fan when they had Fairy Peak because that dude, for the longest time, was a 1v1 god. Anyways, we're moving into Team BDS. BDS, I think they have the potential. I wouldn't be surprised because you got Monkey Moon, Seiko, and Rise with extra riding the bench. And on top of that, They went on that ridiculous run during RLCS Season X. Truth be told, I would not be surprised if they end up making a run at the World Championship with this roster. They're just ridiculous. So now we're moving into, Genji Mobile. So Genji Mobile 1, definitely could see it happen. They're a very, and I mean, they are a very, very new roster. They got together September last year. They've been making waves all through North America. On top of that, it doesn't help that, like, Chronic, dude. Like, I'm surprised that there was quite a few, like, North American teams that passed up on Chronic. I think that they messed up when they passed up on him. And I think props to Genji when they brought Appjack and Nolly across the sea there to come over here and compete. Like, they're just ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. FaZe Clan. We're on to FaZe. I like FaZe. FaZe is probably my favorite North American team. But at the end of the day, I'd be very surprised if they're able to clutch up. Like, I I feel like they're stuck in that third, fourth, where they land for placement when it comes to these things. I don't foresee them getting past the third, fourth stage, especially in Worlds. I feel when they start playing behind, First Killer tries to take over, and it doesn't work. And the coach, who's the coach? I think it's what's his face. Where is it? Roldiz. I think Roldiz really needs to step up and be like, yo, chill the fuck out. You guys stick to the basics, get it rolling. Because otherwise, I don't foresee FaZe getting at third, fourth place. And I have a feeling First Killer will probably end up moving on to like some other team unless something happens. We're moving into NIP, aka Ninjas in Pajamas. So I ain't gonna lie. I have not watched much of South America. Ninjas in Pajamas, truth be told, I'm kind of surprised they picked up a RLCS team because they're mostly known for their CSGO teams. Looking at it, they finished 9th through 12th when it came to the spring split major. Ninjas in Pajamas, I'd be very surprised. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but I haven't watched much Sam. So, anyways, we're moving on to Rule 1. And Rule 1 is, of course, Sunless Comms team. They have, for whatever reason, the wiki page, the Liquipedia page, not the wiki page, is all messed up. Truth be told, Rule 1... I can see Rule 1. I wouldn't be surprised. Definitely could see it happening, but I really want these kids to like make a hard push, like a hard push. Which is moving us into Moist. Moist is Joyo, Juicy, and Cash, not Catch. I would say very surprising. Since the roster basically disbanded after that one big major they won, they've been stuck like, 5th, 6th for the spring major, 4th for the regional cup, 2nd for the fall major. Let's see. The last time they won was spring major split. So yeah, that must have been the one where they won it. And then, like I said, they just ended up disbanding. I kind of wish the original roster of Moist would have stayed together because I think they could have done magical things. I'm not sure what happened, what caused them to break up, but like I said, I would be very, very surprised if they do anything. So now we're moving into Oxygen, which is Archie, Jorez, and Ixo. I watch a lot of like Ixo and Jorez when it comes to like Giant Boys 1v1 streams. Like, I would be surprised, very surprised, if they make any kind of a push, because like I said, I mean, looking at their achievements, they finished 9th through 12th for the winter split, 3rd, 4th for the regional for the winner, 3rd, 4th for the regional for the winner, 3rd, 4th for the regional. There's a lot of 3rd, 4ths, and then 9th through 12ths. I would be very surprised if they end up making the push. Followed by G1's roster, which is Atomic, Dorito, and Olay. I'd be very surprised. Like, it's a decent team on paper. But, like I said, the 7th, 8th for the 2022-2023 regional spring split EU. and a lot of ninth through 11th, ninth through 12th when it comes to their achievements. So I'd be surprised if they end up making a deep run. Now we're moving on to complexity, Raise Bull, AJG, and CRR. I can definitely see them making a hard push, but I would be kind of surprised, right? Because they're a very good team, and like let me tell you, they put North America on their back foot, and like I said, to me it would just be surprising if they make it all the way to the end. The next North American team we have is going to be Space Station Gaming, SSG. I'd be kind of surprised because, like, don't get me wrong, I like Arsenal, LJ, and Hoxer, but it just dawns on me as I'm looking at their Liquipedia, they actually have Lethamir as their substitute, which I did not know he was back in the professional scene. So, anyways, they've been making waves since Daniel left. Because if you look, 2021 winter split, they got third, which I think Daniel was still on the roster then. So, SSG, I'm going to put surprising. I think they have the potential of doing it, but it would be surprising. Now, G2, we got JNAP, Chicago, and Atomic. When it comes to them, like, I can definitely see them making a push, and I wouldn't be surprised. Don't get me wrong, like, I could see them making a push and potentially winning it all, but they got some. I haven't seen the brackets yet or anything, and I know they're already seeded, but if they got to get it, they got to get through Vitality, they got to get through Team BDS. Some of these higher ranked teams like K Corp, Genji Mobile, like, you know, they got to get through these other teams in order to like make it there. And I have a feeling one of these other teams is going to be able to, you know, write their number, and they're not going to be able to get through it. So, in my opinion, good luck, but I think there's a strong possibility it could potentially do something. So now we're moving into Kansas City Pioneers. When it comes to Pioneers, I ain't going to lie, I haven't watched much OCE as well. They don't... Like, they play odd hours for me, so I haven't been able to watch them. I know a lot of these OCE teams, like, I hate to say it, I'm going to group them in the very surprising, because, like, a lot of these guys, I haven't really heard of their names. Scrub. I haven't watched much of them. I don't think they're going to go far. A lot of these OCE teams, when they run into a North American, or even, I'd say most of the time when they run into a European team, just get mopped up. Nothing against them. It's just, yeah, like they have a lot of catching up to do. So I would be very surprised. And listen, I'd love to see a freaking Cinderella story going on, followed by another OCE team in Power. I know Power tried to make a move over here in North America with Forky, Mile, and Epic Johnny, which they didn't really get too far. And now they have a OCE team, which kind of makes sense with Amphis, Torsauce, and Fever. I've watched, I think, one of their series. They played really good. Right now they're ranked league point wise number 15, so that's not bad. Like I said, whenever one of these guys, like a perfect example, the spring split major, they actually ran into Rule 1, and they lost 2-3. It's harder for these OCE teams to like really compete against these higher tier teams. So, sorry guys, it'd be very surprising. We're coming up against the Crew. I've watched a couple Crew matches. Crew is like actually pretty freaking decent. They've taken Sam... one, two. So they've taken Sam twice in the Spring Open, Regional 1, and the Regional 3. And then they finished 5th through 8th for the Winter Major. I'm going to put them in surprising because like I think they got the pop-up potential to like get up there, but it's going to be hard. Followed by Team Secret, another South American team. I'm gonna put them in very surprising. Like they got a lot to get there. Anyways, now we're moving into Team Falcons, and Team Falcons is kind of interesting because I feel like I want to rank them higher, but I'm going to put them right next to Rule 1 because they got a stacked roster. They got Ahmed, O'Khaled, and TRK. I think I can see them making a push. And they, like I said, I'd love to see them in Rule 1, like, just crush it. Twisted Minds, I almost called them Tainted Minds, but Twisted Minds, I don't think I've ever seen, I think I've seen one or two of their matches. I'm going to put them under very surprising because it looks like they play second fiddle to Rule 1 and the Falcons, and it looks like Falcons and Rule 1 basically sweep them every time. So I'm looking at one result here. They lost 1-4 to Rule 1. They lost 1-4 to Falcons. They went Middle Eastern Finals, which is a qualifier. They won against Rule 1. But looking at all the other results, like the MENA Regional Fall Cup, they lost the Falcons 1-4. With results like that, like I said, Rule 1 and Falcons are just next level. So I'm going to put, Tainted Minds? Twisted Minds down at very surprising. Now we're moving into Elevate. Elevate plays in APAC as well. I haven't watched any of their matches. I just know about them because they have a mixed roster because they took Virtuoso. They got Realize and Kami. Like I said, I have no idea about these guys. So they took APAC 1, but the spring split, they finished 13th through 16th. I'm going to put that under very surprising. Sorry, guys. Now we're moving into Gladiators, another APAC, which it's another mixed roster, and their coach is Marky Duda, which is pretty... I'm surprised. I didn't know Marky Duda was coaching. I hate to say it, I haven't watched them, but looking at the results, I'm going to put it as very surprising because they played at Gamers 8 last year. They finished 17th through 24th. I'm not sure if they had a roster change, but they haven't had a roster change. So that's where the cookie crumbles. Then we're talking about Limitless. Like, I don't know with these guys. I'm going to just put them under another very surprising team. And then we're going to talk about Valiant, which I don't think I've ever watched them play. They're from Africa. I have no idea about these guys. I've heard of them. But yeah, so this is going to be this is my list. I would be very surprised if Vitality doesn't end up taking it all. But like I said, at the top here, like from here up, Vitality, I think Vitality's got this all day. I mean, with the addition of Zen and Alpha 54, those two, and Radisson, like, bro, there's like, it would be an upset if one of these other teams takes them. I mean, I think they could even get bumped into a loser's bracket and still sweep it up and end up, taking it. I think Carmine Corp, Genji, Rule 1, Falcons, those definitely have potential. I think Liquid, I'm on the fence because I kind of want to, like, bump them up, but like I said, I think Liquid has a potential. Space Station. And like I said, I want to put FaZe up higher, but I can't, only because when they fall behind in a series, when they start losing anything, First Killer ends up like cutting rotations. First Killer like bumping his teammates and all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that First Killer does that you can tell when he starts to not trust his teammates, which causes them to lose. It's just one of those things. And like I said, Moist, I love the brand of Moist, but it's just one of those things. I think since the loss of, basically 2/3 of the roster, they, and I feel bad because most of these teams in the very surprising category, I haven't watched much of, like Pioneers, Power, Secret, Elevate, Twisted Minds. Like a lot of those guys I haven't watched a lot of, and I wish that they would, do more show matches on, Giant Boy's channel or what have you. So it's just one of those things, like you kind of, just see what happens. But that's my list. That's how I'm feeling. Like I said, my favorite to win it all, Vitality. I love Vitality with K-Dop and Fairy Peak, and then they turn around and they just bolstered that, that roster even more after they kicked them. I know they had a lull there for a while, but bringing Zen in and Radisson and like Alpha, like bro, that roster is ridiculous. Ridiculous. They got to figure out how to stop them. And I tell you, I think it was Rule 1 they ended up playing against, and like, that was a hell of a series. But until next time, you guys, I'll catch you later. Bye.